That's right. This week's hyperfixation is sustainability. Moving on to more things. Quick mention for pros and cons of sustainability and how I'm implementing it for myself. We're gonna start with pros because we should always start off on a good note. Pros, it makes me feel like a better human in general. It just makes you feel good. It's like, oh, look at me recycling this bottle that could have gone into the trash. And like that TikTok sound, am I better than everyone? Like, I definitely get those vibes. Number two, just generally putting your money where your mouth is. And like, I know that like when I buy from these companies, that shows the market that, hey, these companies can succeed, and it makes more companies to make their things right and sustainable. And so just putting your money where your mouth is and actually implementing change with your dollars. Up next, animal cruelty. A lot of the sustainable brands, at least one thing that I look for when looking for a sustainable brand, is cruelty free. I used to think that like animal testing just meant that like they put lipstick on pigs or something. That's not what it means. I'll let you research that on your own. But just being able to, again, put your money where your mouth is and like be conscious about the decisions you make when you buy certain products makes you feel good. All these are a little bit connected. Another pro, plastic in general and like human waste is really bad. We have plastic in like the deep, deep ocean where it does not belong. And I'm sure we've all seen those like terrible pictures with like a turtle with a plastic tube around their shell. And people are like, save the polar bears and all that great jazz. So once again, just being a part of the solution instead of the problem, even if it's as simple as changing your facial wash. Like, I'm not going for perfection, I'm going for betterment. And I feel like if we all did a little bit better, we can band together and make big companies do better, and so on. And again, about creating that world we want to see and live in. So, another pro is companies' accountability for like what they put in our bodies and what they put in our products. For me, this will be another video, but I went sugar-free for a month. And I just had this like realization like, man, restaurants are weird. We let other people like nourish our bodies and we have no idea what's in it. And so in that, a lot of sustainable companies list all their ingredients and they're easy to read and don't take that much research. It's just like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm putting on my body. I know how it's going to affect me. There's research behind these products working and these ingredients working. Sometimes there's not, and you need to check that. But it's like, okay, like it gives you autonomy to not only on an idealistic level of what you want to see in the world, but also like to keep your body functioning so you don't like die at the age of 52. And so, yeah, that's really nice. And lastly, usually, but not always, but usually, again, this is what I look for in the products. The ingredients are sourced ethically. So they're sourced from places that like don't cause immense damage to the environment, and they pay all their workers properly, and they're not, again, just bad for humans and our earth in general. So, yeah. Those are all the pros that I came up with, and maybe some of them inspired you to do the same. Okay, now time from sponsor Kyla. Today's sponsors are two local Black-owned businesses. The first one is Angel Love Creations. They make bath bombs, soaps, oils, butters, lotions, and much more. I think this sponsor is really fitting for today's topic because you can find them at local markets, and they are all handmade. Just so you know when they're dropping new things or where they're headed, and you can follow them on Instagram at Angel Love Creations. Another business that you can find at markets and events and they bottle their sauces locally is Smokin' Butts. They serve barbecue beans, nachos, and some really good barbecue sandwiches like the Texas and the Hickory. Events and where their truck is headed on their website at smokingbuttsbarbecue.com. Okay. Moving on to the cons. I know that in this conversation a lot of people talk about the cons, but they are necessary to know what you're getting into and to navigate this world of doing better and making the world you want to see and all that great jazz. Understandable. So yeah, let's get into it. Number one, knowing that you're just one consumer, knowing that you're just one person. A lot of people talk about this I don't think what I do matters because I'm just one person and it's the company's fault. There's this really great quote by Hank Green, one of my favorite white men. And he was like, this climate is a crisis. We're in crisis. And so the way you fix a crisis is, yes, by getting government and companies that have a lot of money to treat it like a crisis, but you also should be treating it like a crisis and making those strides in your own home matter. If everyone took up their yoke and was like, this is a crisis, this matters to me, no, I'm not buying from that company. It's like boycotting in the 60s. Companies shut down, things change. And so when you treat it like it's important, it becomes important. But of course you can't do that alone. But my hope is that you can inspire people when you do it by yourself. So yeah. Next is dealing with the fact that there are a lot of problems. Again, just being one person, me being as old as you two, there's climate change and there's social injustice and there's plastic and there's all these layers of problems compiled upon one another. And it's really hard because it feels really overwhelming, but I try to remember that there's only 24 hours in the day and I can make the best choices for me and the best choices that align with my own beliefs, and that is enough. And if everyone does that, then that's more than enough. And so taking it in bite-sized pieces. Next, it's mad expensive. The toothpaste, the chewable toothpaste, was it $10 at first on Amazon, and then it went up to $20 later, the same day. And I was like, okay, we will wait on this purchase. That's fine. There's a face wash from I think Youth to the People, and it's $48 for the refill. But then I have to remind myself, okay, everyone is getting paid fairly in that process. These products and ingredients are sourced ethically. You pay for the quality and for your beliefs. You put your money where your mouth is, and you pay for things to be done correctly. And so that helps ease the pain a little bit, but I'm not gonna lie, it took some munches in my little 16-year-old wallet. So yeah. And then lastly, I believe it takes research and it takes time and it takes thoughtfulness, which something I hope that we all aspire to have is thoughtfulness. But it takes that. It takes energy and it takes a little dedication to say, no, I am going to go to the recycling plant, or no, I am going to find that Trader Joe's so I can recycle these plastic bags. And so that may be time that some people don't have, or energy that some people don't have. And I certainly don't have it every day. But yeah, it's just, you make those choices. Hey, future Kyla here. This video took a really long time to come out. But with that, it gave me a lot of time to think about and fix mistakes and think about the topic and what I was putting out. I wanted to mention two things and give this a proper conclusion. Number one, I loosely mention a lot of videos and products, and those things will be in the description box, hopefully by the time you're watching this video. And two, a con that is brought up in this discussion all the time, but as I said with other cons, I think is important for generating new ideas and implementing those new ideas is the fact that not everyone has access to reduce plastic or get an electric car. This video is not for them, but I want to acknowledge them and not sound tone deaf when I talk about everyone taking up their burden. I'm talking about the people who have the money to go on holiday every year. Us taking up our burden. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. If you made it this far, thank you so much. These videos were really rambly and lengthy. You are really rad, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.